Musics and questions and lots of education on the Edward Show. Fun and stories and all the entertainment, it's the Edward Show. No, he didn't want a hot dog, dears. He wanted a warm dog instead. And I tried to explain the difference, but he didn't. Right. Okay, hello dears. It's Edward on the Edward Show again, episode 7. Isn't it nice, dears? Okay, so anyway, hang on, Janice. I want Janice to get me a drink, but I don't know where she is. She's probably off gallivanting, dears, somewhere, doing the things. Okay? Yeah, so anyway, I need to scratch my back, dears. Oh, dears. Do you see these back scratching things, dears? Oh, they're so good. Oh, the back scratch. But anyway, now, we're bringing... Oh, excuse me. Right then. We're bringing the Edward Show from outside because today is the first day in about 3 years that it's actually been cool enough to be out of the house, dears. So yes. Anyway, so, right. And Janice and me, we have sat in the gardens today and we have been listening to the jazz, dears. Do you know the jazz? We have listened, right, to the John Cocaine, the Miles David, the Craig David, the Katy Perry, and the Charles the Mingus, dear. You know him. He's the big chap that plays the big bass thing. But he shouldn't call himself a Mingus, dear, because everybody should love themselves. Yes, that's what the Edward Show is all about. So yes, let's see about the show today anyway. Yes, the first thing I have to say, right, is that Edward, best news, Edward, right, he's going to be doing the Edward Show music's albums. Yes, because I feel that because the show is so popular and everybody is watching, that I should make a music as well. Yes, so I will make the albums just for you, for all of Edward's fans. Okay, so that's the first thing, but it isn't made yet. But the thing is, I have been writing the music songs since 1951. You know, that is a long time. And so I need to show the world what I can do. Okay, now we have to be a thing, right, because the airplanes is coming over here every 3 minutes. And so there might be lots of noise, and I might have to speak up a bit, dear. Can you see him? Can you see him, like, there's airplanes up in the sky, look at him there, yeah, and they're coming over all the times. So, yes, anyway, so yeah, as well as doing the music's albums, Edward is going to be performing on the stage very soon, but not as the Edward Show, right? It's my friend, he phoned me up on the telephone things, right, and he said, can Edward come and play the washboards for him? And I know how to play that instrument, right? So yes, so at next weekends I am going to play the washboards on the stage, doing the shows for the people. There's a music jigs, right? Okay. Now, so yes, now we have to get on to the real subjects for today, right? Okay. Now I've had a question, so this is questions with Edward time. Okay. Now, I've had the papers keep moving because of the winds. Anyway, stop that there. Now, okay, I've had the questions, dears, from some people, the Richard Westwoods and the Laura Westwoods, okay? Now, they asked the questions before, and I was going to answer them yesterday, right? But I did the show on the Ergo Frismisses and the Lottie Bowwaters, and I didn't have time to do their questions. So I'm going to do them today. Okay, dears? Now, right, the Richard, right? Richard he's a very, very nice chap, and he's very good. He does the playing the instruments. I think he plays the guitars, and I think he plays the bass guitars as well. So he has multi-skills, dears, right? And he has a wife. Her name's right is Laura. And she is a very beautiful lady, and I know, Edward knows I shouldn't be saying things like that, especially because the Richard Wright is very fit and strong, and he does the running in the marathons. And so I know that if I say the things like the Laura's is the very beautiful side, that he may knock me down, right, and do a marathons back and forth on Edward's body. So I shouldn't say that. But I can still think it, though, dears, yes, but I just shouldn't say it in loud. Okay, right then. So they asked two questions, right? So the first one, right, is who is the biggest bugger that Edward knows? Right? Okay, so yes, they asked the questions, right? And now, the thing is that I have to say to you, Mr. Richards and Mrs. Laura's, right, is that the biggest bugger, in Edward's opinion, it changes every single day. Because every day I meet somebody who's a bigger bugger than the bugger that I met on the previous day. And the day before that, and the day before that. Yesterday I would have said that it was the bloody dog because he chewed up the Edward glasses, right? And I still have the pieces in the house. I need to put them in the bin. But I get attached to things, you see, right? And I don't like to throw things away. Now, okay, so yesterday it would have been the dogs, right? But today, the biggest buggers is you. And you up there, right? You is the biggest buggers. That Edward knows, right? And tomorrow it would probably be me, because sometimes I'm a bugger as well. Yes. So that in answer to your questions, the biggest bugger that Edward knows today is you. Yes. Right. The next questions. Let's have a look. Now, Richards asked. Right, well, I read it just, but I forgot it by the time I came back to the cameras. So yes, okay. What does Edward think of the customer services in the Tesco? Now, let me tell you about the Tesco's, dears, right? I'm going to do this with my stick because of the Tesco's, right? Now, you see, when Edward was a young chap, right, when I was very young, the Tesco's did the very good customers services, dear. They did. I remember the one time I was with my mother, and I was little, and I was holding her hand like this because she was big, right? And we came out of the Tesco's with the shopping for the weeks. It was on the Friday evenings, right? And then, right, we was going to cross the roads, right? And the lights was on the red, and we pressed the lights was on the green, and we pressed the buttons to change the lights from the green to the red, right? And this person came running from the side, and they had a bottle of milk in their hands, right? And they came running, and they ran across the road before the light changed, and a car came, and it hit them, dears. It hit them, and it knocked them down, and they was lying on the floor, and a bottle of milk went through the air, and it hit the ground, and it smashed everywhere. So we was crying over the spilt milk, dears, because the person got run over by the car. And let me tell you, the Tesco's people came out, and they took us, me and little boy Edwards, right, with my mummy, right, and they took us in the shop, in the office in the back, and they gave us cups of tea. They gave Edward the sweeties and the pops, right, and there was very good customer services. It was very nice. Okay, but now today's they don't care, right? They do the things. They move all the things around in the shops every so often to make more monies. You just keep walking and you get used to where the thing is. You say the milk's theirs, and the things is there, and the bread is theirs, and the newspapers, and you can do a thing round, and you can write a list in the orders, right, that you are going to go around the shops. So you first walk in, right, and they have plants, and they have newspapers, and then they have other things like this, and they have an escalators there, and then you can walk down the side, and then you do the toiletries, and then you go to pharmacy to get the medications for the Edwards, and then you go around, and you know where everything is. But then, after a bit, when you get used to it, right, they change it. They move everything around, so you walk into the shop and you're like, bloody hell, what is going on here? With you're doing the changing scandals, right? And it's not very nice for the old peoples, you see, because we rely on routine and ritual and not having to change, right? And the Tesco, they do the change so that you will go in and you will be disoriented. Okay, and so you go in and you go around looking for the things that you want, and you end up passing the other things because you don't take the same route. Yes, and so it means that you do a buy of an impulses, right? And I thought an impulses, right, was the sprays that the ladies use on their bodies, but no, it's not that, right? You do an impulses buyings, and it means that they make more of the monies. Now that's not very good. It's good for them, but it's not good for everybody else, because it means that we spend more money so I have less, and we buy the impulses on the things that we don't really need. We don't need these things. So they put things like extra, they put things, just rubbish things like, then you might walk in and you think, okay, I want my loaf of bread, but you end up walking past it, flags. Yes, the flags, because, right, we wave the flags for when the Queen's is coming, and they did the royal weddings recently, so you remember that? Yes, and we end up buying flags, even when it's not the royal weddings, you see, because we do the impulses, and they do the things to the brains, right? It's all the conspiracies, you know, the conspiracies that you see on the YouTube's internet, right? They do the conspiracies to us, and they do it, and they're controlling the brains, you see, and so, now, that is not the very good customers' services, you see? Now, okay, so that is my answer. It used to be good when Edward was a little boy with the mummy, holding the hands, crossing the road with a bottle of milk and the spilled milks and the cryings, but now it's not very good because they just care about the monies, right? And that is not the way to do the things, right? Okay, so I hope, Mr. Richards and the beautiful wife Laura's, I hope I've answered your questions very well. Because, you see, oh, bloody hell, look at this. Now, right, I'm not even going to tell you what just happened there, because you would laugh, right? You would laugh at Edwards, and it's not very good. So anyway, so I have to go, I have to go because it's very funny. Yeah, it was just, goodbye from the Edwards house. Goodbye. Cheerio, dears. Yeah, I was going to tell you some more things, but I'm in the laughing now. I am having the fits of the laughing. Musics and questions and lots of education on the Edward Show. Fun and stories and all the entertainment, it's the Edward Show.